What's up everybody? John here with another video for those of you that are interested in getting a job on board a cruise ship. Now this next video's topic is going to be one that is a little bit, not a lot of people talk about it, but I don't want to scare anybody, but this is going to be a video about getting fired from a cruise ship. Now it's not by no means, it's not an instruction manual or an instruction video on how to get fired. I'm just going to simply give you a little bit of insight on what exactly happens if you do get fired, and I'm going to let you know of 3 things that would get you fired immediately. Now you got to think of working on a cruise ship as a regular job. So if you do not perform up to the standards of the cruise line that you're working for, or your direct supervisors, managers, or for the guest satisfaction, then obviously, of course, you will get let go. Just like any job that you do. If you do not perform that job well, then that job is not going to be there for you. Because you got to think of it this way, there are a lot more people waiting to get a job on board those ships that you are going to be replaced. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to give you 3 things that will get you fired immediately, but if you're just a crappy employee, you'll be fired. It's that simple. What happens when you actually do get fired? You can stop worrying. They're not going to throw you overboard. They're not going to make you walk the plank. They're not going to lock you up in jail. They're not going to do anything like that. What happens is if you do get fired and all of the paperwork gets processed and everything behind the scenes that you are not aware of, you will either be given the 6 o'clock knock, as they say. That is when you pull into the home port. It's usually the home port, or it could be the next port, depending on your nationality, your country of origin. You get the 6 o'clock knock, which is when the ship pulls into port. They will knock on your door at about 6 o'clock. It could be earlier, it could be later. I mean, it's before the ship gets pulled into port. They will wake you up. It will be your direct supervisor or your manager, and then a member of the security team. They will let you know that you are now being let go, your contract is being terminated. They'll maybe break down the reasons of why you're getting fired, and then they will give you about 30 minutes to pack up all your things, and then they will escort you off the ship, and you are on your merry way to go back home. It's not very fun because some people see it coming, some people don't see it coming. Sometimes it happens quickly, sometimes it's in motion for a couple of weeks before they get all the approval and they get everything signed, sealed, and delivered. It's never fun, especially when you are in a department head position or a supervisor position like myself, and you know these people, you live, you work with them, you become friends with them, and then you have to do all these things kind of behind the scenes, and then you have to pretty much sneak around and keep things to yourself. You have to get the new person that's coming on board without letting everybody else know that there's going to be a replacement, and boom, and it's not pleasant, especially because of the environment. You're living, you're working, you're being friends with everybody, but if some person is terrible at their job or somebody does something that messes up, you know, it's not the fun part of the job. It's definitely not the fun part, but it is what it is. So you don't get thrown overboard, you don't get made to walk the plank, you will just be escorted off the ship at the next port or the home port. That's simple. You do have 30 minutes to pack though. That's the only thing that's kind of weird. Maybe you have a little bit more, maybe you have a little bit less, but you do have a very short amount of time to pack up all your stuff that you've packed for 6 to 10 months at a time. You have to get it all back in your suitcases and ready to go within that short period of time. So that sucks. So yeah, there are 3 things that I know of off the top of my head that would get you fired immediately. So there's obviously all those things that you can do that build up that then could get you fired. But 3 things that can get you fired right away. Number 1 would be having a very high level of drunkenness, if that's even a sentence. If you are very drunk at any time and you get caught, boom, instant termination. Because you got to remember, as I said in other videos, is that you have to be on point and on call in the event of an emergency that could happen at any given time, even in the middle of the night. And if you have a certain blood alcohol content in your blood alcohol content in your blood, that's stupid. If you have a certain level of alcohol, technically you're not fit for duty, you're not fit to help people in an emergency, and there you go, you're done. That's why they limit 1 or 2 drink in the crew bar. People obviously do whatever they want, but you cannot be visibly drunk walking in the hallways, because then somebody will see you, somebody will say something, next thing you know you're peeing in a cup or getting a breathalyzer test. Bing, bang, boom, there you go, 6 o'clock, knock. Second thing that could happen to you, that could get you fired immediately, is if you have any type of fight, physical altercation with another crew member, with a guest. If you have any type of fight that is physical on the ship, and even to an extent off of the ship, it could come back to bite you in the butt and get you fired. So, no fighting, because if you do fight, then you're gone. Regardless of who hit who first, if you are in self-defense, if somebody punches you and you punch them back, both of you gone. It's not like school where it's like, he hit me first and I was defending myself. Oh, okay, then he's suspended. If you both fight, you're both done. That's it. There's not even any ifs, ands, or buts. Like, you will not even, nope, you don't even have a chance. Nothing. And then the third thing that could get you fired immediately is if you, as the crew member, do any sort of physical things on the romantic side with a guest, or you get caught inside of a guest cabin without permission. Now, I say without permission because if you have your family cruising, or your fiance, girlfriend, boyfriend, a lover, a secret girlfriend, whatever you have, and they have a guest cabin, you can get pre-authorization from your department head and the hotel director that gives you access to go into their cabin, in their guest cabin. That's okay. This is if you wind up in a guest cabin, regardless of whether the two of you are going to get to know each other a little bit more, or if you are like literally in the cabin, the door closes and somebody catches you, anything could happen. Even if nothing does happen, that's still a huge, huge issue. And I bring up the time where there was a handful of team members that they saw somebody that was cruising that was a friend of theirs. They didn't know they were going to be cruising, so they all decided on the way up to Pizza to stop off at their cabin, and they went inside this guest cabin. There was like 4 or 5 of them. The door was closed. They were in there for maybe 5 minutes. Nothing happened, obviously, but the fact that they were in the cabin with the door closed was a big no-no, and all of them had to be let go. And it is what it is. There's rules. It is what it is. So regardless of whether you do anything with that guest or you don't, it's just what's perceived, and that's the problem. So yeah, if you do anything like that with a guest in the cabin or in the bathroom, wherever, if you get caught, see you later, goodbye. So those are 3 things that will get you fired pretty much immediately. An honorable mention to get you fired is if you do any type of destruction of the property of the ship around the area. I don't ask why, I just know of 2 instances where people were fired because they destroyed things. One was they took a decoration down from the wall because they were drunk after New Year's Eve. The other one was they took a fire extinguisher and they sprayed the props backstage in the theater of the show. So those 2 reasons were reasons enough to be like, see you later, peace out, thanks a lot. So yeah, so you got being drunk, like drunk, not like, oh, I had a drink, I feel buzzed, like I go to bed. It's like, no, if you are like hammered, or you can't carry alcohol and you had 2 drinks and you maybe are, but yeah, being visibly drunk, bad. Hooking up with a guest, whether just making out or if you're maybe even dancing too close to them on the dance floor, that could be a warning. But if you do anything more than that, see you later. And then fighting, any type of fighting or destroying anything on the ship. Those things will get you immediately fired. Now remember, you do any of those things, there are hundreds of people that want to take your place, and they will replace you easily. You get fired, you get escorted off the ship at the next port or at the home port. You don't get thrown overboard. So just remember those things. It's a fun job. There are rules. You have to follow those rules, or else you're going to lose your chance to enjoy this lifestyle. So once again, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe. If you have any ideas for some future videos that you want to see, put them in the comments below as well. Got a bunch of videos on their way. Thanks for watching again. I can't say it enough, but thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for asking all the questions. Thanks for keeping me going. You can send me some messages on my Facebook page, www.facebook.com/JohnGleasonComedy. Head on over there, give it a like. I'll be posting things up there as well. Lots of cool stuff on their way. Lots more videos on their way. Again, just thanks for supporting everything. I want to help you guys, and I want to open your eyes to this crazy lifestyle that some people think of, some people don't think of, and then when they do think about it, they can't stop thinking about it. It's a great experience, and if you're up for the challenge, I definitely suggest that you do take it and step up to the plate and enter this crazy world of working on board a cruise ship. All right, well, thanks, guys. Once again, I'm John, and I'll see you guys later.